Guys, in this module, I'm going to very quickly talk about what weights you should be lifting when you go into the gym. Now, as a personal trainer, the way I would advise clients and the way I advise you to go about this is through something what we call the RPE, or the rate of perceived exertion. So this is basically using a 1 to 10 scale, 10 being extremely difficult and 1 being extremely easy. Now you have to kind of rank your intensity on that scale. And basically, obviously, if you're lifting a certain exercise, a certain weight, and it feels like a 5 out of 10, that is probably too light. The perfect and sweet spot I would suggest would be an 8 out of 10 or even a 9 out of 10. We don't want to go to 10 out of 10 because that is completely at the end of our limit and it can lead to things like injuries and things like this. So we want to go for 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10. So that's what I want you to kind of judge the movement of. Now, week 1 of the program, the reason I've set it for high reps is because I want you using light weight, and you're going to use the first week as a kind of a guideline to get an idea of what weight you should be lifting. So you'll notice on the program I have not suggested any weights for you to be lifting because obviously I don't know your strength, your history in strength training, what you've done before. Maybe you haven't done much at all. So it's really going to be down to you going in there and trying to track what you've been doing and obviously tracking and writing down the weights you've lifted so that the next time you're in the gym, you can judge your program and you can judge your progress off the weights you've lifted from week 1. So in week 2, you'll notice that the reps are slightly lower, which will allow you to lift heavier weight. Again, the first set should be used to get an idea to say, right, is this pushing me to an 8 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10? Because remember, if you feel, oh, this is a 6 or 7, I could definitely do another couple of reps, then you want to be increasing the weight. Okay, so that's the way to go about it. And don't feel down that I could have got more out of that exercise. Again, the first couple of weeks are getting in there, getting an idea of the movements and finding out where your strength actually lies. And then as the weeks go on, they're going to be really good indicators of your strength increasing. Now, if on the other side you put on a weight and it's too heavy after a couple of weeks, and you've got to say a set of 10 repetitions, you will say for argument's sake are doing bench press and you're lifting 50 kilograms and you can only lift it for 7 or 8 reps. That's perfectly fine. My suggestion would be to the next set to reduce the weight down to maybe 47.5 and then try and lift 10 of those. Another thing you can do is rack the weight at 8 reps, rest for 15 or 20 seconds, and then finish out the set, the remaining 2 reps after 15 or 20 seconds rest. Or a third way you can do it is to rack the weight, reduce the weight down to 47.5, and then finish the last 2 reps off with that weight. And again, you are tracking and you're writing this down in either on your phone or on your notepad, wherever you're measuring and tracking your progress, because again, it's going to give you a good indicator of how you're progressing on a week-to-week basis. By actually doing that, guys, you're putting yourself in the top percentage of people who are actually training. Most people don't track their progress. They literally go in week after week doing the same thing, lifting the same weight, and then they wonder why they aren't changing. That's not going to be you. You're going to be in the top percent, and honestly, it's a really good habit to get into. Now, on top of that, I want to say that you need, and it's really important, to listen to your body. And I have specifically designed the program so that you have got 5 days of training, which is quite a lot of training, but there are rest days put in there and you're training specific body parts on certain days. So for example, an upper body day will never be followed by exercising another upper body part. An upper body day will be followed by a lower body day because it's giving you time to rest your upper body. Or it'll be followed by a rest day. So optimally, we want to be exercising and training certain muscle groups twice over the entire week. But we also want to make sure that we're getting enough recovery because remember, as I said in a previous module, the progress doesn't happen in those 45 minutes to 1 hour in the gym. In that hour, you are actually breaking your body down. The progress occurs afterwards, the other 23 hours and the days following. So we need to make sure we're getting enough recovery, and it's really, really important to listen to your body. If you're feeling over fatigued, you need to let me know. If you're feeling that you don't have the energy, maybe you're not getting enough nutrition or the right nutrition, and you need to let me know. Other things can also take you need to take into account things like your sleep. Really important. Read or listen to the sleep module. You need to make sure that you're getting enough sleep every single night. Your vitamin D. So if you're living, for example, if you're living in Ireland or if you're living in the UK, you're living in during the winter time, you're not getting enough sunlight. Maybe you want to supplement in some vitamin D because that's actually going to affect your mood. So you need to just take into account all these different things. We want to, again, be performing at our very best in the gym. Listen to your body. So that's just an indicator of where you need to start regarding your weight. You need to be lifting. Remember your RPE is the rate we're going to go with. I want you to be aiming for an 8 out of 10 or 9 out of 10. And we're going to be tracking our progress. And we're going to be seeing what kind of numbers we're lifting. And I'm going to be asking you to put up different things in the Facebook group. So I hope that was helpful. If you haven't watched the sleep module in particular, I want you now to go to the sleep module.